This is Carla DeRosa, and this short video is about my Awaken the Maroon Within yoga retreat, November 2018, where somehow I got the idea that I would spend 2 relaxing weeks in Jamaica earning a yoga certification. Well, somehow I got it done, but it was so much more. In order to get even a sense of this experience, you got to know the players. Aunkh Neter, Iyabinghi, Tamara, myself, Jessica Joy, Tony, Amir, Kahotep, Koshin. Amazing class. The raw food team and Courtney, which I didn't really get a good picture of him. Okay, a moment about the food. We had the most beautiful, non-GMO, natural sourced food, raw food, 100% raw, for 2 weeks. Delicious, by Iyabinghi, who is the raw food chef instructor. She taught us so much about indigenous foods and food prep and idle and vital Rasta clean vegan eating with her cousin Koshin and her friend Courtney. It was amazing. The food alone would have been transformative. We spent a lot of time eating and waiting to eat and recovering after we ate, and it was just amazing. Breaking bread with these amazing people, proverbial bread, of course. But we did have crackers, we had wild food, we had jungle salad, we had smoothies, we had fresh coconut water, we had coconut milk, we had all sorts of combinations of smoothies. My favorite was the pineapple ginger for digestion that we had many times after dinner. I could go on and on about the food. Like I said, the food itself transformed your body, reconnected you to nature. I found some wild foods. I found some purslane. Neter Aunkh found a guava. They were just coconuts on the street. And that takes us to our market excursion. All right, so the market experience. So we got a chance to escape from the compound, which was very rare. And we got a chance to go into the market and look at some of the things that we had been eating and meet some of the people in the market. It was amazing. It was entertainers. The food was so beautiful and bright. All the vendors were black, and that's another thing. We bought black. Everything we bought was black, black, black. The place where we stayed, everything. And so we had a huge conversation about black economics and turning the black dollar back into the black community. And that market experience was like a practice of that. It was a beautiful experience. Yeah. Look at your biceps, though. You're working out. Thank you.
Yeah, I met you yesterday.
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
I put your stuff on today.
Oh, it's
Your
nice.
salve is very nice.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Jamaica sweet, Jamaica paradise. We love the sunlight. Jamaica sweet, Jamaica nice, Jamaica paradise. We love the moonlight. Sweet Jamaica, the land where we love. We got lots of sugar and rum. Our visitor, yes, they welcome sweet Jamaica. We full of joy and fun. One thing we want to remember, the pimento and the chai ginger. Jamaica sweet, Jamaica paradise. Big up Portland, big up the whole world. Skeletor.
Okay, now about our Swift River experience. So we walked deep into what I felt like were jungles over all these river rocks and had lunch at the Swift River, which I don't think any class had done that deep into it. And it was beautiful. Folks were swimming, doing headstands. There were falls. It was very beautiful and meditative. And folks were washing their locks, which apparently that is something to do in the river. And it was just amazing. And so Iyabinghi took us there. It was a lovely experience. This guy, Tommy, he was amazing. He's a carpenter. He could get food out of the trees. He was driving us around. He was actually a black genius. One of the things that really impacted me is that when we left, it was dark and no lights. And it made me think of how it must have been for Harriet Tubman, walking over rivers and paths, leading people to freedom with no lights. We had a couple more half-day excursions where we went to an island and saw some beachfront or lagoon, the Blue Lagoon properties. We also went to a beach and we got a chance to just have a couple of what I thought were going to be downtimes. The beach kind of was, but the island, it was like you had to scale 30 feet straight up with your fingers and toes. Yeah, I'm telling you, some of the experience was really like Survivor. But through it, it expanded me. It expanded my physical capacity, or at least it made me understand I have much more physical capacity than I thought. And it was very bonding for the group, I thought, bringing us together, staying together, experiencing so much beauty in Jamaica together. It was a great find of coral. I thought it was beautiful. They wouldn't let me bring it back for some reason. Hold on. Say that again.
It's called Watch Hill.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Nanny Ashanti used to put her sentries. All these hills you're looking at, all these ridges are parts of the Jonkro Mountain and the Blue Mountains. And this particular Watch Hill here, when you climb on the top of it, this is the Rio Grande River. And when you're on top of that hill, you see all the way out to the sea, where the British boats would come in and they would see when all the soldiers come off, so they would count the numbers, and by the time they got up here, they all be dead. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going up there.
So this is the picture of graduation. We were all in our white, and we were in Mooretown, where the sovereign people live. They played traditional music to celebrate our transition and initiation into the Basu Nation. And we danced, received our certificates. We were at a missionary school, and it was amazing. Again, we ate. We left some donations for the school, and we a lovely and humbling experience. Obviously, I fell in love with my classmates, my new family, and the Basu Nation as we step out as leaders in Thef Neteru Sema Paut, this Kemetic style yoga. And I would have to say my most impactful part were the conversations that were definitely about spirituality, led by Neter Aunkh. Spirituality through an African lens, going all the way back to the beginning of Kemetic mythology as far as we can go, putting all religions and belief in context for me, and answering so many of my questions. It was like going to see the Matrix, but actually being able to sit down and ask questions that have been rolling around in my head for years. We built a beautiful shrine that definitely meant a lot to me, affirmed a lot that I was experiencing, and connected the impact of my ancestors on me today with my kinetic roots and the purpose of the planet and my personal purpose, and brought me to become Basu.